All right, I'm good. So once again, I'm Cedric Hawkins, student here at Bowie State University, graduated from Huntingtown High School, also graduated from CSM, College of Southern Maryland Community College, got my arts and science degree. I'll get into that as to why I chose arts and science. And again, right now at Bowie State University, majoring in elementary education and specializing in early childhood and special ed as well. So, show of hands, who here is really confident that they want to get into the field of education? Like, who knows after high school they're going to go straight for education? Okay. Who here is a little bit unsure of what they want to do? Okay, and that's okay also. All right, and who here thinks they want to work in education but is a little bit unsure to join the profession or join the field? Okay, well, just to tell my story, when I was in high school or in 8th grade and 9th grade, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know that I wanted to be a teacher and work in education. I wasn't like some of the other people that you listen to who were part of the TM program and had that experience. I didn't have that. I went throughout school, got good grades, A's and B's. Occasionally I got C's. That all stopped after 11th grade, got A's and B's afterwards. But again, I wasn't sure about what I wanted to major in when I was going to college. First I wanted to do marine biology, then I thought I wanted to do biology, and then coming out of my senior year of high school, my family told me to do computer science, do IT. Why they told me that was because they make a lot of money doing that. And so they wanted me to be successful by having a lot of money, so they wanted me to do computer science. So I somewhat kind of went along with that, but as I was speaking with some of my advisors in college, my freshman year, I realized that that wasn't the right fit for me because I wasn't really invested in it. I wasn't passionate about computers or math or IT or anything like that. And that's okay. You know, there are some things that you're not going to be invested in or passionate about. But what I want to tell you guys is if you guys know that if something isn't right for you, don't go for it. If you guys know sitting here that education maybe isn't right for you, maybe being a teacher isn't right for you, you know, I don't want you guys to go through it or think you have to go through it because I'm telling you to do so or somebody else is telling you to do so, because you'll go through it feeling frustrated, wondering, questioning, why am I doing this? Why did I stick with this? But if this is something that you're really passionate about and it's something that you really want to do, I highly recommend that you go through it. So here's my story. I go to CSM. I choose arts and science because I didn't want to choose a major. I was indecisive and I didn't want to stick with something that I felt would be permanent. So I go through my freshman year, arts and science major, finish up pretty strong, got on the honor roll, got on the dean's list, but I still didn't have a sense or an idea of what I wanted to do. So January 2019 comes. I'm taking my classes, I don't have a job, and I have a dream one night. And on that dream, I'm on a bus with a group of kids and we're going on a field trip. And we're going to Kings Dominion. Now, I don't know why we're going to Kings Dominion. I guess it was the end of the school year, but we're all going to Kings Dominion. And we get off the bus and I'm loading my kids up. I'm telling them what to do. And we're all just having a good time. We're just having a good time. We're having fun. Again, I think it was during the end of the school year because we were just celebrating. But I woke up from that dream and it made me think to myself, well, if I don't want to do broadcast journalism, because I wanted to do that, if I don't want to do that, if I don't want to do computer science, let me try out education. Let me see if the education field is the right profession for me. So I looked up nearest daycares in Maryland and Primetime popped up. Anybody familiar with Primetime, the daycare? Yeah. So I went there, rang the bell. My old supervisor opened the door, gave me an application. I filled it out. Gave me a call 3 months later. I had the interview. Sure enough, I did well in the interview that I got the job. Now, I didn't think I did well in the interview. I really didn't think I came off as genuine. Again, I was unsure if I wanted to do education because working with kids, it's a big responsibility. If something happens to any of you guys, that's on your teachers because it's your teacher's responsibility to take care of you all. Even if you guys are 13 or 14 or 15, you're still considered kids or minors. So they're responsible for you. If anything happens to you guys, it's on the teacher. And I felt that. I was really intimidated by it. So I spoke with one of my mentors, a former teacher of mine who made a big impact on my life. And she told me, she said, well, Cedric, if it doesn't work out, at least you can put on your resume that you work with kids because that's a strong sense of leadership working with children. So I accepted the job, and that first week, it was a roller coaster ride. I was dealing with kids with all different types of personalities and behaviors. A lot of them were skilled in a lot of different ways, but it was just a big eye-opening experience working with kids for the first time. But after that first week, I realized that I like this. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about, and I think I can make a career out of this. So I went through the rest of the summer. Summer was great. I worked with the kids well. We get to the fall semester of college. I have to make a decision. I'm getting ready to leave CSM. I'm getting ready to transfer to Bowie State next year. I need to figure out what I want to major in. I have a strong sense of working in the education field, but again, have a little bit of nerve jumping into it. So I took 2 education classes, and I absolutely loved it. I love the topics that they talked about. I love the strategies they gave on how to work with children and how to connect with them, teach them different things. So that's when I made it official. I'm going to work with children. I'm going to try and work with young children as well, maybe work with special needs. My brother, he has special needs. He has autism, so does my cousin. So I'm just going to give it a try, and I'm going to go all in with it. And I can honestly say that since making that decision in 2019, it's 4 years later, it's one of the best decisions I've made in my life. Because every day when I wake up in the morning, I have a sense of purpose, and I feel excited to go to work. Now, I know that's kind of crazy, like, excited to go to work. Why are you excited to, go to work? Because I realize that I'm making an impact in the life of the children that I get to connect with, that I get to work with. I think it's so incredible to know that you're making an impact on them just based off of your words and what you're saying to them, based off of your actions, the things that you do. I know one time I was kind of standing with my hands on my hips like this at recess, and this one boy, he has Down syndrome. He came over to me and he started doing the same thing. I looked over him, I said, "Watson, what are you doing?" "Well, I'm doing what you're doing because you look cool." So I was like, okay. But just me standing there like that made some type of significant impact on him, and it made him want to do just that. So I think just working with kids in general, seeing that connection that you're making with them, it's incredible. And I've gotten a taste with student teaching of teaching them and being in the front and working with them. And I can see it now, I have people looking at me, you guys are watching me. I see the light bulbs going off a little bit in your heads, you're understanding what I'm saying. That's a rewarding feeling because it shows that you're invested. It shows that the other students are invested in what you're saying. It has meaning, it has purpose. So that's one of the great things about it. I remember at prime time I had a parent thank me for working with her daughter. And I asked her, I said, why are you thanking me? And she said, well, so-and-so talks about you all the time when you do your crazy things, because I used to do cartwheels and play pranks and jokes on them and stuff like that. I could be a goofball, but she would always talk to her mom about that or talk to her about what we did, and everything just revolved around me. And it's not always about me, right? But in that moment, it taught me that what I'm doing as a teacher is much bigger than what I'm doing, right? It's about that child and how I'm connecting with that child. When I left primetime, I had a child write me this goodbye letter. She was in 3rd grade at the time. Pretty cool for a 3rd grader to, do all of that. And I want to take a chance and read you this letter just to show you what kind of impact you can make on a child. It says, "Dear Mr. Cedric, you have been an amazing teacher at primetime. I hope you have an amazing time at SCS, Sunderland Elementary School. I hope you have an amazing time, and remember to wear your red shoes every Wednesday." Every Wednesday we wear red shoes, and we twin because red was our favorite color. "You have been the best teacher ever, and I think you have made your way up to 1st place on my list. I hope you enjoy your gift. I really miss you. Love, your best friend, Kinley." And she made Sour Patch Kids on the inside because we both like Sour Patch Kids. Even though I've had this letter for almost 2 years now, I always keep it at my study desk. And I don't always read it, but it's just a reminder of the fact that I did that. I made an impact on that child that she's probably going to carry with for the rest of her life. And if she forgets about me, it is what it is. She'll probably come across better teachers than me, right? You guys, you'll have better teachers than the ones you have now, or you never know. Maybe these teachers you have now, they'll always hold a special place in your heart. But knowing that I made this type of impact on her makes me feel special because it teaches me what I did to make that impact on her life. If you guys want to pass it around, that's fine, just to look at it. So, as I'm continuing, what are some of the things that I regret, right? I think one thing I regret is that I didn't sign up for the TAM program or sign up for any programs in school. Show of hands, are you guys a part of any programs at school? Or you do sports? Yeah? I didn't do anything like that. I wish I did. I wish I had put myself out there and did that, but I didn't. And I wasn't a necessarily bad kid in school. I went to school, got good grades, did what I was supposed to do. But I wish I had done a program like the TAM program, because maybe it could have shown me that, hey, I can be a teacher. I can work with kids. I can be skilled in this area or that area. Because again, it doesn't have to be teaching if it's not something you genuinely want to do. I know some of you guys probably came here just because, hey, free field trip. Get out of class, go walk a college campus, eat some good food in the cafeteria, and then that's my day. But if you're really serious about the education profession and you think it's something that you want to invest yourself in, I think the TAM program is perfect, because it's going to give you those tools and those skills necessary to really help you make that decision, and you working with children and you working with young people. So again, I encourage you guys to join it. Don't be afraid to do it. But again, that's one of my regrets I think I have. Things I wish I could have done in high school or in middle school was join a program like TAM or join any other different program and at least try to figure out and get an understanding of what it is I want to do with my life. But again, it's never too late. You guys are young. You guys are still figuring things out as you go along, and that's okay. So my next thing I want to talk to you guys is about success. When you hear that word success, what do you think that word means to you? Success. Or succeeding at something. What do you think that means?
Doing good.
Doing good? All right. Anybody want to add on to that? Yeah.
Giving your best effort towards a task.
I like that. Giving your best effort towards a task. One more person want to share?
Winning.
Winning. Yes.
I like to win.
Yes. Win, no matter what. No matter what. All right. So I have a story. I got it from, YouTube, a guy named Dr. Eric Thomas. He told a story about a man and a guru. The guru had a lot of money. Guru was a billionaire, had a lot of money. And so the man said, I want to make money just like you. I want to see how you got that money. So the guru said, all right, meet me at the beach, 4 o'clock in the morning. Can you imagine that? Going to a beach at 4 o'clock in the morning? So the man meets the guru at the beach. He's dressed up in his suit and tie, dressed up in his nice shoes, all dressed up to the nines. And so the man gets there and he's like, all right, where are we going? The guru said, we're going in the water. He said, the water? He said, yeah, we're going in the water. Step in. So the man steps in. The guru says, keep going. The man keeps going. Now the water's up to his knees. The man says, keep going in. Again, steps forward. Now the water's up to right here. The man says, keep going. The water's rising. Now it's up to right here. The man keeps going. Now it's up to his shoulders. And so this guy's sitting here like, man, what am I doing in this water? I came here to make money. You know what I'm saying? You guys want to make money, right? You guys like money. This man said, I came here to make money. I want to make some money. I didn't come here to get in the water. And so as the man's about to ask Guru what's going on, Guru grabs the man by the head, holds him down in the water. The man is kicking and scratching and clawing, trying to get out the water. Guru's holding him down, holding him back. And then eventually, as the man's about to pass out, Guru picks his head back up. The man is huffing and puffing. The Guru asks him, and I'm going to ask you guys too, what were you thinking while you were underwater? What was that man thinking when he was underwater and he was scratching and clawing trying to get out? What was he thinking?
He was about to die.
Did think he was about to die, but what else was, what was he trying to do?
Get money.
Get money, yeah. But when you're holding your breath and you're holding your breath for so long, what do you want to do?
Survive.
Yeah, survive. What'd you say?
Breathe.
Yeah, breathe. The man was trying to breathe. So he asked you, he said, what were you trying to do when you're underwater? He said, I was trying to breathe. And so the Guru told him, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. If you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Whether you want to be successful in this field of education, successful in your sports or athletics that you do, or successful in your assignments and your classwork that you do, if you want to succeed at what you're doing as bad as you want to breathe, as bad as that man wanted to breathe, then you'll be successful. When you're holding your breath and that man was underwater, he wasn't thinking about TikTok. He wasn't thinking about getting on his phone. Wasn't thinking about watching TV or watching sports or going to the movies. He was thinking about breathing. So when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, and you want it bad enough, you'll do anything to get it, to be successful at it. Me, I'm at the stretch. I'm about to graduate next month. I got deadlines to do. I got requirements to do. I want to succeed. I want to walk across that stage. I want to get my degree so I can stand up here and continue to teach my students, make that impact on their life so I can pass around that letter and leave behind a legacy that other children can follow behind and pass it on. Because that's what the field of education is all about. You teach the students. It's not just teaching them math or reading or science or social studies. You're teaching them life skills. You're teaching them things that are important, that matter, that are significant, that they can carry with them for the rest of their life. Do you guys remember some teachers that were your favorites? What were some of the reasons as to why they were your favorite teachers? Yeah?
I had a teacher called Miss Roberts, and she was always very energetic and made sure to improvise on the spot and make sure that everybody was happy and content with the lesson and understood everything well.
Yeah. Anybody else want to share?
Mine was nice.
Yeah.
She was just really nice, and if you messed up, she wouldn't get mad like other teachers would.
Yeah, and that's one thing that when it comes to being a teacher is understanding your students, getting down at your level and understanding just what they're trying to get across. Because it can be difficult, right? As adults, it's hard for us to sometimes understand the problems and issues that you guys go through as teenagers, but it's important to put that aside and get down at your level and understand what's the problem, what's the dilemma, what's going on, what can I do to support you if you guys are choosing the field of education. Oh, yeah.
No, I just want to say that's what we do in this classroom right here. This is one of my classes that I come to on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but we do use TikTok because we think about our theorists and what we do in the classroom, and we make our own TikToks in here. And then we also do podcasting here about our issues in education, stuff that bothers us. So I have my students literally get in a booth and make podcasts so that we can discuss what's on your mind, what's going on. So we do make it kind of current. We use our computers, we use our phones, because that's what your students will do when you're teaching, when you're out there. Babies are using swipe, right? Tablets and phones and all. So we have to teach them with the phone, with the devices, with software, and all that. And that's what we do in this classroom. I use every bit of it. At the same time, we dance, we sing, I make them make poetry of strategies to use in the classroom to make it real 2023 for you. And so we're also redesigning our programs for 2023, 2024, 2025, because that's your future. And that's the future of young children. So it's not about me, it's about you guys. And that's what we do in this classroom. So we do make it fun, we make it relevant, and we make it interesting. So welcome to Bowie, and I'm glad you guys are here. I'm Dr. Mercadell. I'm the coordinator of the elementary ed program. Who's thinking about elementary ed? Come on, play. Awesome. My office is right across the hall over there, so email me. I'm on the website or so, and we can chat, okay? Welcome. Good to see you. Thank you. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to meet everyone.
Nah, you good. You always got to sprinkle that wisdom on them. Sprinkle that wisdom
no
on
worries.
them.
Old wisdom, right? Have a great day, y'all.
Yeah, and just adding on to that, implementing things into the classroom that makes it engaging and fun. Because I know it's boring listening to me. Eventually, we're all going to get up and do an activity together. But Go Noodles. I don't know if y'all did Go Noodles, but we have those dance breaks in my classroom that I'm student teaching in, and we just try to make it fun and enjoyable. And you always remember your favorite teacher. Sometimes it's not about exactly what they taught you and how they taught you. Some people do remember that. I had a 7th grade teacher that finally made math make sense to me. Took me from kindergarten all the way to 7th grade to have a math teacher make it make sense to me on how I understood math. But for the most part, some of my favorite teachers were the ones that made me feel good, that made me feel safe, made me feel comfortable, made me enjoy being in that classroom. So as you guys are thinking about becoming educators, think about how are you going to make an impact on your student? What are you going to do to impact them, make them feel safe and comfortable in your classroom? So for that, I'm going to do a little exercise. Have you guys stand up. I want you guys to make a circle right here. I know it's a lot of us, but we're going to try our best to make a circle. If If you've had a teacher that's made a positive or a big influence on your life in a good way, step forward. If you've had a negative experience or a bad experience with a teacher, step backwards. If you can think off the top of your head one thing you could do to make a child feel comfortable or safe in your classroom, if you choose to teach, step forward. Does anybody want to share an idea that they have?
If they're messing up, like, don't yell at them.
Yeah. Talk to them.
Yeah.
Understand them. Your tone is everything. Your tone is important. For an example, I could be like, hey man, I like your hat. It's really cool. But then I could go, I like your hat. Really cool. Sounds kind of sarcastic, right? Mm-hmm. Tone is important. Tone is everything when you're working with children. Your language, the way you speak to them. So all that is important. All right. If you think that you want to enter the teaching profession as a teacher, step forward. If you think that you want to go to college, step forward. If you think you want to choose a different path than college, step backwards. And that's okay. You know, it doesn't have to be college. It doesn't have to be education. Do you have an idea of what you want to do? Military, see? Excellent alternative. Doesn't have to always be college. All right, we're going to take a step back. You guys can go ahead and have a seat at your seats. So again, I got about 10 minutes left, and then we'll probably 11:45. Is that the end?
11:50.
11:50.
Yeah.
All right. I got plenty of time. All right. So, what are some of the things that you guys notice in school that kind of gives you problems? Something that you notice, and something that you notice in the classroom, maybe outside the classroom. What are some things that you guys notice? Yeah.
I feel like some teachers like purposefully ignore some students in classrooms. Like whenever they raise their hand, they just ignore them.
Yeah. Do you think you know why they do that, or?
I think it's just like things like I think it's just things that they have in their mind about the student, like the first day that they walk in, that they just don't like the person.
Yeah, we call that bias, and we're always trained and taught to not implement our own individual bias in the classroom. Who here wants to explain, or who here thinks they know, why does your voice matter as students? Yeah.
Because we're the ones learning.
Yeah, you're the ones learning. It's your education. Anybody else want to share?
We're
Yeah.
the future.
Yeah, you guys are the future. You guys are going to be the ones carrying the next generation. It's going to be me too, but you guys are much younger than me, so you guys are going to be following suit after me. So it's important for me to leave a positive trail behind so you guys can walk it, so that way you guys can pay it forward to the next generation. I saw your hand up. Did you want to share?
I feel like our voices matter a lot because since it's our education, we should decide like at what point we want to pursue which idea of like class and learning experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, don't be afraid to, ask your teacher questions, right? Try to have your own ideas. Try to, advocate for yourself, advocate for your education, or come up with suggestions for what you guys can do. Because I know for me, as a student teacher getting ready to be a teacher, I love it when my kids ask me questions, or I love it when they come up with an idea for something, and it's like, oh, okay. Like, I was teaching math the other week, and they said, well, Mr. Hawkins, how about we use whiteboards to do the problems instead of our notebooks? And in my head, I was like, that sounds kind of interesting. We've never done the whiteboard approach, so did the whiteboard approach, and the kids loved it. So it's always good to, acknowledge everybody's opinions, acknowledge everybody's opinions and thoughts and how they feel. What are some other things you guys notice in the classroom that you think could be fixed or changed? Yeah?
I had a teacher that we had to do a presentation, and a lot of kids in my class had very much anxiety for speaking in front of them. And even when one girl was crying while presenting, she still made her stay up there.
Yeah, that's not right at all. What do you think that teacher could have done differently, obviously?
I think she could have let her sit down, take a break, leave the class for a little bit.
Yeah, something wrong with taking breaks. All kids need breaks, just like adults. I think the biggest misconception, I think, with teachers and students is that I think they think that you guys don't need those breaks, right? Just kind of sit there and work through it. But no, you guys need those breaks. Sometimes you need those moments to just take a step in the corner, gather your thoughts, cool down for a little bit, and then get back into it. Luckily for us as adults, we're able to kind of separate ourselves and take that break if we need to. But let's say you guys do your assignments, we go back to our desk and just breathe to ourselves. You know, sometimes you guys don't have that opportunity, and you guys deserve that. Did you want to share something?
Well, I can say this, especially in my first period, there's a lack of motivation, not just with the students, but with the teachers. Like, they're not really connecting. And I know a lot of the students in my class that I have to sadly, like, teach the lesson to them, because my teacher just doesn't. Like, she just kind of gives the assignment and just never goes through the material. And then when they ask questions, she kind of just pushes them away and gets irritated.
Wow. What do you think could be a possible solution to that? What do you think could be solved for that to boost up their motivation?
I actually have no idea. Like, I would just say more contact with the students.
Yeah, or connect with the students, understand your students and understand what they want, what they're interested in. For those that are interested in becoming teachers, you want to get to know your students on that personal level. You want to know their interests, their likes, their dislikes, what they're engaged with, what they understand and what they know, because that way you can incorporate those things into your lessons, and then that's what keeps them engaged. What's something that what some of you guys are interested in? Yeah?
Psychology.
Yeah, psychology. So maybe for like one of your high school classes, maybe have like a lesson on like psychology, or look up something on Google real quick and talk about it for a little bit. Something that's engaging, something that's interesting. Anybody else want to share? Sports. Okay. Maybe dedicate first 5 minutes of class talking about sports, like, hey, who saw that football game, or who saw that basketball game? Or how about those Ravens, you know? I'm not a big football fan, but I mean, it's all about getting down to your students' level, understanding them, and trying to figure out what you can do to implement into the class to help them out. I know in my mentor teacher's classroom, we always kind of talk about how our weekends went, and sometimes we'll go around just talking about that. It's a good conversation, and it gets people excited and motivated for the day. Yeah.
One of my old teachers, not really that old, it was like last year, she used a roses and thorn method, which was like, you said like one bad thing or one good thing, or possibly both about your weekend or about the day you had after you left school.
Yeah, and roses and thorns could be good also for measuring how your lesson went. You could use it and ask your students what worked today, what didn't work, or what could I do as an educator to make it better. Like at the end of this, I'll ask you guys like how I did with this, what worked, what didn't work, or what I could have done differently, so that way the next time I do something like this, I can come up with something a little bit different, you know? Something to think about. But as we wrap up, you know, give you guys a little bit of time to, you know, chit chat and do your thing. I want you guys to know that everybody in this room has a purpose. I can't see what that purpose is. I don't know what that purpose is. I think as I talk to you guys more and more, I'll understand what that purpose is, but everybody in this room has a purpose. Everybody is going to achieve something. Everybody is going to do something that's going to be groundbreaking. It's going to be monumental. It's going to change the world. As crazy as that sounds, it's going to change the world. I see some really good teachers in here. For those that may be choosing a different path, I see you guys blazing an incredible trail in that different path that you're doing. Like I know we have the one young man who's going to go into the military. Be the best in the military. Do your absolute best in it. So the future is bright. You guys are the next generation, and you guys are going to carry us into the future. So that way, you guys can pay it forward and give back to that next crop of people who want to learn and understand what it means to be a teacher, or what it means to be in the military, or what it means to own a business, or what it means to be a barber or a manager. Anybody have any questions that they want to ask? No? All right, well, I am an open book. We got about 10 more minutes until we venture off, so I give this to you guys. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you.